Hello guys! I finally encountered I guess I could say a Karen. The only thing is that she did not ask for the manager. Okay, this was back on Sunday. I would have gotten this up much sooner, but obviously I wasn't here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Well, part of Monday anyway. And then I came back like right before I had to come to work on Thursday, and after that I didn't have any way of recording because the kids were in here and I don't like recording when anybody else is in the room. I'm weird like that. It just bugs me. It feels awkward to me, and it probably feels awkward to them too. Anyway, this happened Sunday. My two coworkers who were on shift before me when I got there, well, they had left by then. It was about, I'm assuming, like 3:15. And I was waiting for my coworker to get there join me at 4:15, I think, is when he was supposed to get there. Anyway, there was not very many people in the store. And somebody had walked up and tried to buy alcohol at the candy bar. And I'm like, oh wait, we can't sell alcohol on Sunday. And yes, the law was changed last summer to where you can sell alcohol on Sunday, but it's a city ordinance thing in my town. And I guess my town is decided that we're not selling alcohol on Sunday, so we still can't sell it on Sunday. We can't sell it. It will not physically let us on the register. And the guy was like, okay, and he walked out. And then there was a couple over at the other self-checkout, or one of the self-checkouts, and they said, wait, the law was changed last summer. I'm like, well, yeah, but the register will not physically let us bring it up, essentially. And they were like, well, you can buy it across the street, but you can't buy it from here. I'm like, I don't know about the Minute Mart, but I know you can buy it at Oak Grove. Because at the time, I didn't know it was a city ordinance thing. Anyway, there was a lady that came up, and, yeah, she was wanting me to blow up a helium balloon for her dad's 70th birthday. Excuse me. And the thing is, usually at Dollar General's, they have a net down the gift wrap aisle, the party aisle, that has balloons blown up. We didn't have any blown up because our helium tank has been acting funny. And most of the time we didn't even have helium, and when we did have it, the tank was acting up. So we didn't have any blown up, and it was hot in that building. Because I had come in the store for my shift, and my coworkers had come back from the back room to look at the thermostat, and they said it was like 86 degrees. That's hot. There was no the corporate controls our air conditioning, so we can't even turn it down if we wanted to. So yeah, it was hot. I was dealing with customers. I was trying to get as much up as I could, and I more than likely was a little cranky. But I did not have an attitude with anybody. This lady claims I had an attitude with that couple that was telling me, the law had been changed. And then she started in on me. And the thing, like I said, she's a Karen, but she's not a Karen because Karens typically ask for the manager. She did not. But then again, I was the only one there, so I would have been able to tell her that, yeah, I'm technically the manager here. But yeah, she was like, Dollar General's supposed to have helium balloons, you're supposed to have helium. I don't know where you're from, so she typically wasn't from this town. But you need to go back to school for manners, morals, and I think something else she said. I can't remember everything. Because I remember she said something, and it ended with, little girl, you fucked up. And I was just standing there in shock. I was like, I couldn't even say anything to say. I could think of plenty to say afterwards, after the encounter. And she was talking about how she had a cousin in corporate and how she worked with Nashville's Dollar General quality control. And if you guys know if you guys have worked in factory jobs, that is a factory job. That is not a retail job, from what one of my friends Beth told me. Yeah, I didn't know that at the time though. And she was talking about how she was going to make sure that I probably didn't have a job next week because this was the holiday weekend, so there wasn't going to be anything happening. And I was just standing there, like, in shock, trying to process what the fuck was going on. And she was like, just ring me up. I'm going to go call my cousin as soon as I get to a phone. And essentially says something along the lines of, the customer is always right. You always treat every customer with respect. And if you don't, then they're going to talk to you how I'm talking to you. And I'm like, even if I thought about this afterwards, and even if I had a slight snarky attitude with those two people, which I didn't, that's still no reason to jump down someone's throat like that. There's still no reason to berate them like that, like they're a piece of garbage. You know? I don't care if you're having a bad day, that's still no reason to treat people like that. If you're supposed to treat people with respect, look in the mirror right now like what you're doing. Shouldn't it be the other way around too? The customers should treat the employees with respect because we're the ones who are stocking all the products and selling you those products. Because we could say we quit and we leave and the place gets shut down and you wouldn't be able to get your stuff, you know? And we're one of the few Dollar Generals in the area. I know there's one in Clarksville. At least one in Clarksville. I don't know about every other Dollar General in Clarksville, but there's at least one in Clarksville that has produce. We have produce. And I think the Dollar Generals in the surrounding areas, I think, do not have produce. So they would have to go to Walmart, Kroger, Aldi, whatever, to get their produce. So, yeah, shouldn't it be the other way around as well, and vice versa? Where you have to treat the employees with respect because, you know, they're having to deal with people like you, essentially. Anyway, it took me like a split second to react, and she got even more pissed off and slammed her money down on the pie she had that she was buying. I'm assuming she was already having a bad day. She might have had not enough refreshments for her father's party, or maybe something went wrong with the cake, and that's why she was buying the pie. I don't know. And then when I rung her up, she left, and I guess the couple that had been in the store before were still outside, and she told them, in a smug-sounding, bragging kind of tone, that she had chewed me out. And from what my coworker told me when she was looking at the camera that next day, at that whole situation, apparently that couple was giving her a dirty look. And it was after she had left, that I started crying, because it wasn't the fact that she was threatening to fire me. Because yes, I do need this job, but I don't think they would fire me over a slight non-existent attitude. Because that's a stupid reason to fire somebody, you know? Anyway, it was the fact that she was yelling at me. I cannot take people yelling at me. I'm sensitive. It upsets me. And I was calling my boss, I was calling my assistant manager, she called my boss, and they both reassured me that I'm not losing my job, you know? And as far as I know, this lady has not contacted corporate, so that was an empty bluff. So lady, if you're watching this, you're talking about treating customers with respect. Why doesn't it work when you're supposed to treat the employees with respect? Seriously. That was not cool. You don't treat people that way. I don't care if you're having a bad day, you don't jump down someone's throat over a slight attitude. Even if I did have an attitude, which I didn't. I don't. I might sound sarcastic. I might have a slight joking tone with how I talk, but I don't have an attitude. Some people do take it that way, though. Anyway, that was my encounter with the Karen. Thankfully, I still have my job, so yeah. If you're watching this lady, yeah, you don't treat people that way. I don't care if you're having a bad day or not. You don't treat people that way. That doesn't get you what you want. Oh, and the customer is not always right. I don't care what you think. The customer is not always right. The only time they're ever always right is when it comes to taste. So, yeah, you're not always right, and the way you treated me was not right. So yeah, screw you.